Years ago, I joined this challenge and it was called the Taji 100. The Taji 100 is 28 days, the month of February, and your goal is to get 100 miles, whether that be walking, jogging, running, but 100 miles in the shortest month of the year. And the whole goal is to be able to commit to something, but it was also to raise money for veterans. Well, during this time, I never ran like that. So I used to be more of a sprinter. I was never a distance runner. So this was a complete change. And I would honestly say, I completed it. I was super excited. However, while I was doing this, sometimes 6 miles a day, I noticed I kept gaining weight, and specifically in my stomach. And it wasn't muscle weight. It was very flabby. It was very bad. And I kept thinking, what the heck am I doing? What is happening? I'm not even eating enough to quote unquote maintain, let alone gain. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about allergies versus food intolerances. Because here, if you ask me what I was eating and drinking, I haven't been a pot drinker for years, and I only drink water basically, and tea and coffee in the morning. My diet, I hadn't drank milk in forever. I figured, a lot of people have these allergies to dairy or allergies to gluten. So honestly, my gluten came, or I wasn't even eating really gluten. I would exchange zucchini for my breads and my carbs. I was doing whey protein shakes with almond milk and almond butter because, well, some people are allergic to peanuts, and blueberries because how healthy can you get? It's one of the ones that have the most antioxidants. Some of my snacks were like apples, oranges at times. I really wasn't eating bad. And again, I'm running 6 miles. I'm burning all these calories, and here I'm gaining weight. And so there's a misconception. So many people think, well, if I'm not allergic to a food, then I'm fine. I'm fine to eat it. And that is so wrong. So in fact, intolerances are so much more. So let me explain the difference. You don't have to be an allergic to a food to be intolerant to it. Intolerant, you're going to notice more bloating. You're going to notice if you're really cleaning up the diet, you might notice feeling uncomfortable. Like, why am I feel like I'm getting gut checked. I feel like I'm having stomach issues. So during this process, I had asked my doctor at the time, can you please run a full blood panel? I need to see, what is out of line? This is not normal. I'm gaining weight. And again, it's not muscle weight. It is not looking good. I do not understand this. So at that time, I had my labs done. I had my hormones tested. And then I also asked for an intolerance test. Now, I'm not saying you have to go with an intolerance test. In fact, if you are really good about elimination diet, like being really healthy and starting to introduce and see how you feel, you really don't have to pay the money for the intolerance test. But at the time, again, I wasn't eating bad, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. And I didn't know at the time, was it my hormones? Was there something else off? What the heck am I doing? I really was at a loss. So interesting, blood work came back normal. Different things came back fine, and super frustrating because, again, I'm gaining weight and I don't get it. I am trying to do well. And so during this process, when I took my intolerance test, it showed some interesting things. I mentioned in a video before, I'm intolerant to citric acid. That's legitimately in almost every canned good thing that you can possibly imagine. So here, when I would avoid pasta thinking I was allergic or intolerant to gluten, it was actually the sauce. And if any of you met me, I'm a big sauce person. Most of the time people are like, I don't even think you like the noodles or the chips or whatever. And yeah, it's just a vehicle for me to have the sauce. So here I'm allergic to, or not allergic, I'm intolerant to it. The other thing, go figure, apples and oranges, I'm intolerant to it, severely intolerant to it. Whey, I'm also very severe, and that's not a shock because when I would take it in the morning, it felt like someone who truly gut checked me. So since then, I've switched to plant-based. There's so many different alternatives. But another interesting thing, I have very minimal intolerance to dairy, which I've been avoiding, and I have zero intolerance to peanuts, which I was avoiding, but I am intolerant to almonds. And think about this: almond milk, almond butter. Another fun fact: I'm very intolerant to blueberries and melons. It's like, are you kidding me? Egg whites. And here's the thing, like, again, do I think that everybody needs to do an intolerance test? No, but if you really are kind of wondering what's going on and you've really tried and you're not figuring it out, that is a really good option out there to see what's going on. The biggest thing that I took from it, all the things that were listed on my intolerance, as a kid, they weren't my favorite things. I really wasn't a blueberry fan. I love berries. Blueberries, I could leave them. Melons. I was not the kid who wanted watermelon or muskmelon or honeydew. In fact, I was like, you got to have that. It was on my thing. Pork, I was a hit or miss. Guess what? And sometimes I would feel sick after eating it. It's on there. I absolutely adored barbecue chicken, but then sometimes my stomach would hurt. Well, here I am severely allergic to, or not allergic, I keep messing that up. I'm very intolerant to molasses, and molasses is found in most, not all, but most of your barbecue sauces. So everything, when I was getting this, I'm like, yeah, those are things I didn't like. I didn't like eggs as a kid. I didn't mind the runny eggs. I'm not intolerant to yolks. I am to the whites. Like, we just joke, the more healthy it is, my body was just like, absolutely not. Like, gluten, all day long, I could have it, and here I'm avoiding it. So sometimes when you are doing, quote unquote, the right things, if you're not feeling well, this is your body saying, hey, something's going on. And if we continue on doing, quote unquote, what is supposedly good, but not good for us, we're not breaking it down. This is creating inflammation. This is creating belly fat, which then long-term, you're having stress. Long-term inflammation creates more disease process. It causes more stomach. It's called dysbiosis. It basically means it's not in the right balance. And so you're actually causing more. So just because you're doing the right things, listen to your body and see there is such a difference between allergies versus intolerance. So hopefully that helps explain, because I know that's such an area where people just are very unsure, including myself, until I went through it. Again, if this helps you, I would love that you follow me for more great tips. And if you would like to work with me, feel free to send me a DM and we'll catch a quick video to chat. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.